My biggest tip is to just not go to school. I'm just kidding, stay in school. Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. But if you've never seen this face before, my name is Chaunna and you should definitely subscribe because I post new videos every single week. And in today's video, I'm doing a what I would tell myself in first year, now being in my senior year of university. To give some background for those of you who might not know, I'm in my 5th year of electrical engineering in university. I started my undergrad in 2018, so when I was 18 years old. About 2/3 into second year is when the pandemic happened, so I finished second year online. I did all of third year online, and then I took a 1-year internship, which extended over summer, so like a 15-month internship. And now I am back on campus for my final year of electrical engineering. It is so crazy that I'm about to graduate, get that ring. It's like a Canadian engineering thing, you get an iron ring when you graduate. Anyways, obviously I can't time travel and make my 22-year-old self tell my little 18-year-old self all of these words of wisdom, but hopefully this might apply to someone, whether you're also in college, university, being a freshman, or this can even apply to high school, or honestly just life lessons in general to whatever stage in your life that you're in. So yeah, I hope learning from my mistakes can help somebody out. I made a whole list on my iPad of all the things I want to talk about. I don't have a specific number of tips because I literally wrote down every single thing that I wanted to talk about. So I'll try not to go on a tangent anywhere, but all of these points are super helpful, so don't forget to subscribe because I'm doing a bunch of other university tips and trick videos with like studying, co-ops, internships, work-life balance, things like that, just because it is my last year, so this might be the last year of school content, which is crazy. Make sure you subscribe so you can see them all. So the first point I wrote down may also help anyone in high school that's still trying to decide what program they want to take in college or university, and that is to have an open mind about university, especially in first year. A lot of the time when you're 18 and you're choosing your program or what school to go to, a lot of people think like, this is my life decision. Everyone expects me to know exactly what I want to do at 18. That's going to be my career path. I need to make the right choice. That is not true at all. I know so many people that have switched their majors, switched schools, finished a degree or a diploma in something, and then went and did something completely different. 2 people in my life that have really inspired me to not just be narrow-minded on your career. One is my mom. She literally became a yoga instructor in her 50s after working the same corporate job for so long. She decided she wanted to learn yoga, and she's also a yoga instructor now. And also my boyfriend Evan, he is starting a brand new program being 23, and he's told me so many stories of other people in his classes that are even older than him, and he's 23, starting this brand new program because they want to make a career change, a life change, and it is completely fine. Don't have a tunnel vision of the program that you're in because there's so many endless opportunities in life, and having that tunnel vision can honestly ruin opportunities for you because you'll be so focused on one thing that you'll miss all of these other things in life that could honestly change it for the better. For me, I did a general first year engineering, which means you take courses from all the different disciplines, and then in second year you choose. And in high school, in the beginning of first year, I had my heart set on mechanical engineering. I wanted to do it so bad. Like, I thought that was it for me. And then I took some more physics courses, and I really liked circuit design and just circuit analysis and all that fun electrical stuff. And I ended up choosing electrical engineering. Like, literally on a whim. I was like, you know what? It just feels right. So that's what I did. Next point is not to be afraid to ask questions and go to office hours. I know how intimidating it can be to ask a question in a lecture, especially if you're in a large class like in university, where in first year there's literally hundreds of people in the lecture room opposed to a small class of 30. Till this day, 5 years of school, I have never asked a question in front of a lecture room. Like, absolutely not. I've never asked a question in front of my peers. It's intimidating. I have anxiety. A lot of people do. So instead, you go to your TA, which is a teaching assistant, or your professor's office hours. And you can just go to their office and ask them a question in private. You get that one-on-one time, you get to meet your professor, or just other people in your class. So asking the person next to you if you don't understand what the prof just did on the board, or just messaging them later. Don't be afraid to ask questions. It's how you learn, it's how you grow. Another thing, especially for the beginning of university and those coming from high school, don't be concerned about the grade drop. I know this completely depends on your program, but for me, engineering, most engineering students when you're in high school, you're like that straight A student. You know, you get all these perfect grades, feeling good, then you come to university and you feel like a complete quote-unquote idiot because your grades drop, everything is so much harder. I got my first C when I was in university, and that was so heartbreaking to me because for 18 years I've never gotten a C, and that is completely okay because C's and D's get degrees. Unless you're trying to do grad programs, then like you really need that average. But your grades do not define you, and just because it does drop, it is completely normal. And honestly, most programs get bell curved, so you're gonna be fine. Alright, this next tip is about your resumes, and in first year you get a lot of pressure to join a bunch of clubs, teams, all these extracurriculars, because these upper years and maybe your parents are telling you you need to join all of these teams to stand out on your resume. No one's gonna hire you if you don't have any community service hours. To an extent that is true, but it's honestly not as important as you think. I remember in first year, I felt so much anxiety to join a club. So I didn't join any clubs in first year. In second year, I joined low maintenance clubs. And what I mean by that is something you can still join that you don't have to attend all the time. I did a Women in Engineering Society, and an ambassador mentee mentorship program in second and third year. And I joined one other club over COVID. But in total, I was only part of 2 clubs at my school, and I still got 2 amazing internships. Moral of the story is, don't feel pressured to join all these clubs and teams because you feel like you have to. Only join them if you have the bandwidth to. And honestly, in first year, it's such a hard transition enough. Having this extra club to go to 2 to 3 times a week, it can be very, very overwhelming. Except, don't get me wrong, it can also be good to make friends and socialize and get to know new people. I'm not trying to shame on extracurriculars at all. I think they're great, but don't feel pressured to do so just to make your resume stand out. Next tip is networking. Networking is so important. If you do not have a LinkedIn and you want to grow your career, pause this video and go make a LinkedIn right now. LinkedIn is literally the best network site for finding jobs, making connections. It's basically your online resume with some more detail, and you can connect with people in your industry, people you want to work for. You can follow companies that you want to work for, your classmates, co-workers. Honestly, as you get older, it will become your favorite social media platform. Make a LinkedIn if you don't have one already. If you're over the age of 18, you need a LinkedIn to boost your career, get started, network. Like, the opportunities are endless if you have a LinkedIn profile, honestly. Other ways you can network in school is joining like a mentorship program, something that I did, where you get paired up with an upper year in your program and they can give you all the tips and tricks. You can vent to them about the workload. They can guide you through things because everything you've done, they've gone through it. And it's also less intimidating talking to a mentor in your program. Usually lots of schools have group chats for like your graduating year, or for the specific classes that you're taking. A lot of people make group chats. Following your school's Instagram and Facebook accounts to know when events are going on, because that's where you can mingle and meet the most people and honestly just have fun with your school. The next tip's about scheduling. I see so many tips where people say don't take 8 a.m. classes, but I will pick morning classes over late classes every single day of the week. If you start your classes a lot earlier in the morning, then you have so much time in the afternoon to be productive, get work done, and then you can go to bed at a more reasonable time. But if you have afternoon classes, say they don't start until like 1 or 2 p.m., you're most likely gonna sleep through the morning, and then you're gonna have your class, and then you're gonna have less time in the day to do assignments and homework, and then you're gonna stay up late to finish, and then you're gonna be tired, and then you're gonna sleep in again until 1 p.m. And it's just gonna be this never-ending cycle. Early classes make you get out of bed early, hold you accountable to going to that class, and then it leaves so much extra time in the day to do homework and even just fun things for yourself. Next is to learn your student discounts. Your school website probably has a list somewhere, or if your school has like a student union kind of team. Usually companies and stores and like restaurants around the surrounding school will have special discounts for those students. For example, my school, 2 of the nearby grocery stores give 10% off a specific day of the week. Nearly all of the restaurants in the surrounding neighborhood give 10% off to students on meals. But yeah, learning your discounts, save money when you can. It doesn't hurt to save money, ever. It sounds like a given, but you don't really realize it when you're in the moment. It is to prioritize your mental health and do things for yourself. Honestly, don't have any fun memories from first year. I don't think I went to any first year events. I did welcome week, but my social anxiety was like really bad, so I left in the middle of it. So I didn't really have like a group of girls or guys in first year that was like my little pack. I didn't do anything. I was so focused on school and my grades and studying and homework and like job hunting. I was so focused on that I honestly, I don't have a single like memory or even a picture of me in first year doing something that wasn't school related. It is so important to make time for yourself, finding a hobby. I did go to the gym. That was honestly my outlet. That was non-school related, but that was it. Like finding a good group of friends and going out like for dinner, whatever it is. It's honestly really sad when I think about first year, and I'm honestly trying to make my senior year super memorable and fun. Obviously this was my own personal case, but I let my social anxiety really get the best of me in first year. I just didn't have a good time, period. And yeah, all I gotta say is that prioritize your mental health, do things for you. Like school, yes, it's about learning and all that stuff, but it also should be fun. Like it needs to have its fun days. Next is if you moved to a new school, to explore that new city. And if you stayed home for school, then just really appreciate it and maybe explore some places you haven't explored. Once your school and the place you live start to feel like a community, it makes it a lot more enjoyable. In first year, this honestly is for kind of second year too, to start browsing for paid internships in co-ops and gain work experience. It's never too early to start looking, and a paid internship in your field is a really great thing for your career, like no doubt about it. I could honestly go off forever about how great co-op and internships are, but I'm gonna make that a whole separate video, so make sure you subscribe. Another tip is it's only a bird course if you enjoy it. If you don't know what a bird course is, it's basically like an easy course to kind of just boost your GPA. Most programs you have to take an elective that's outside of your program, but I remember everyone telling me that microeconomics was a bird course. Let me tell you, it was not. Like, I still got a good grade in that course, but it's because I worked really hard. So then my second elective, I took a theater and film course, which nobody called a bird course because like it wasn't that popular to take as an elective for an engineering student. But you know, I'm interested in film, obviously. So I took it and I really liked it, and I got a really good grade in it. Moral of the story is that if you have to take an elective, take something you're actually somewhat interested in and think you might enjoy, rather than just taking something that everyone says is easy, because you might honestly just hate the content and then it won't be easy. It'll be dreadful. Next tip is that it's never too late to make friends. And this is like kind of cheesy, but as I said, in first year, I was really closed off, that I didn't really have a good group of friends, and I didn't meet my little circle of friends until second year university. If you're like me and you struggle a lot with making friends, maybe you have anxiety or social anxiety, just know that the right people will come into your life and make the university experience more joyful. There's so many people in university compared to what it was in high school, and you will meet your group. I promise you that. Next tip is using a planner and just scheduling every little detail of your life in university. I know that sounds like micromanaging, but it helps. I use Google Calendar to map out all of my courses. For example, like this, I have all of my courses mapped in the scheduling. I have reminders 10 minutes before my next class. I also use a planner that I've shown in videos before, like a notebook planner where I write down everything I need to do. I write down all the due dates for my assignments and labs and midterms and exams, both in my Google Calendar and also in my physical planner. You have to stay on top of everything in school. For my program, if you don't hand something in, you're gonna get a 0. Like, you can't just do it months later. And even if your program is lenient on due dates and such, still stick to the schedule that you have. It'll improve your time management skills and just functionality, you know what I mean? And another tip in university, something I was really scared to do in first year, but I've been doing it since second year onward, knowing what grade you deserve. Basically, there's been times where I've gotten a midterm back. Let's just say the mark wasn't good, but I knew what I did deserved more marks. Like, there's no shame in bringing your test back to your TA or your professor, any other assignments, presentations, and you can state your case saying, I think I deserve this mark because of A, B, and C. And if you have a solid case, they can boost your mark. I think one time I brought a midterm back because I knew I deserved more marks for the math process I did, even though I messed up somewhere. And I think my mark literally got boosted from like a 75 to an 89. Like, I'm actually not even exaggerating. It was a huge boost because I knew that I studied hard and that the work I did deserved a better grade, and I got that better grade. Honestly, the worst thing they can say to you is no. Like, you won't lose points for trying. Because in first year, there were times I didn't do that, and I regret it because I think I could have got better grades if I came to the professor and talked about it. So I do have a bunch more tips, but they're more like studying and grades related, and I'm gonna save that for a whole separate video. So those are most of just my tips for what I would tell myself in first year, being in my senior year now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like it was probably a little bit long because I can go on a tangent sometimes when I'm doing these advice videos. But don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my other university/engineering related videos. And if you're still watching, comment down below a tip, what you would tell your younger self. Basically, just comment something that you would tell your younger self no matter what stage in life you are right now. So good luck to anyone that is going back to school. This semester is definitely going to be hard with going back to in-person, but you got it, I got it, we all got this. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.